but having sex with different men makes you a slut.
Well, what does it make you if you have sex with different women?
A slut maker.
So today we're going to be looking at the RX 7700 XT in some 1440p gaming. AMD advertises this card as a 1440p GPU. So I want to have a look at that and some titles. Now, that is kind of deceiving. The reason why I say that is because that's a loaded question, or loaded statement, because it depends on the graphics settings that you're going to be using. It also depends on the game titles. Some games will play very well on this card at 1440p and some games will not. All right, so let's get into some gaming.
Do you feel that?
All right, fellas, so let's start with the newly released title on the PC, God of War Ragnarøk. And let's look at the graphics that we're going to be using today, 1440p. And we're going to be sticking to ultra settings because why not? We're going to be pushing the card to see what its limits are. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so as you can see, we are hovering around 59 FPS average. So yeah, this is a 1440p, like I said. Ultra settings, no type of scaling or anything like that. This new title, yeah, it does put some pressure on the GPU. But to say that this is a 1440p GPU in this title, it's a stretch. Now, you can lower the graphics settings and sacrifice a little bit of eye candy.
That water be frozen in the
And completely, this game will completely be a lot more playable. I mean, this is playable, but it'll still look good, and you get your high FPS if you want to. So yeah, this is the 7700 XT in God of War Ragnarøk. Alright, and now we're looking at Space Marine 2. Let's look at the settings. We're going with the highest settings, of course, ultra settings. Now, again, like I said, you could lower the graphic settings and get better FPS, but we're gonna test it as I think AMD meant it. Ultra settings, 1440p, since they advertise it as a 1440p graphics card. So here we go. One thing I do notice though is that this game loves system memory. And oh boy, yeah. So if you want to play this game, I strongly advise that you get 32 gigabytes. 16 gigabytes nowadays is just not going to get you very far. And this is just starting the game, like the beginning of the game. But yeah, so far it doesn't look like this is like I would be playing this at 1440p ultra settings. This will be more like medium type of settings. I mean, just look at this, 50 FPS. So yeah, okay, so I think we'll leave it here. I think you folks get the point. This could be a 1440p graphics card if you lower the graphics settings to medium, but that can also be said with a lot of other graphics cards that are out in the market right now, like the 6800, for example, by AMD, or the 4060. It really depends on you and the games that you'll be playing. So I think, yeah, this is enough here. So 58 FPS for Space Marine 2 on the RX 7700 XT. Alright, so now let's look at Cyberpunk 2077. 1440p. Graphics set to ultra. We'll go ahead and turn off any type of scaling. And just raw rasterization, nothing else. No RTX, no nothing. Okay. Alright. Let's go back into the game. Reset. Let's go for a little run. Usually I drive, but I thought this time we'll go for a walk. And we're averaging 6-7 FPS so far. Yep, not bad. But yeah, and the game feels smooth. It doesn't feel like it's laggy or anything like that. It's totally playable by 1440p ultra settings without any scale. And this thing does love a fast CPU as well, as you can see. It's using up 43% of the 13700K, and the GPU is at 100% utilization, so that's good. So I think you guys get it, yeah. 66 FPS for Cyberpunk at 1440p on the RX 7700 XT. Not bad. Okay, so now let's look at Dead Space. Graphics 1440p, and overall graphics quality set to ultra. No type of scaling or anything like that. Okay, let's go. So far so good, averaging 77 FPS at ultra settings. Let's take a look around. You know what, we'll save here. And let's reset our... Yeah, okay, so here we go. What's this here? Okay, so it looks like we're gonna blast our way through this. Okay. Oh boy. This guy's just scary. And if you're not fast enough, they'll do a number on you. It doesn't matter if you shoot them in the head either. Yeah. Okay. So what's this? Yeah, so 81 FPS for Dead Space. Not bad. Not stellar performance,
Remember,
but
when you
not
reach
bad.
the morgue,
Still
find Captain
playable.
Mathias's body. Get his rig codes, and the computer's all ours.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, but okay, so we'll say 87 FPS average for Dead Space. Alright, so let's look at Remnant II. 1440p and no type of upscaling or any kind. Ultra settings. Let's go. And so far so good. We're at 75 FPS. I mean, I would consider this playable, sure, no problem. So as you can see, the game is behaving very smoothly. I mean, no complaints or anything like that. Alright, so here we go. Oh. Oh, this guy's nasty is about to pop. Alright, oh, but it's gonna leave that red nasty dust. Alright, let's go. Okay, so 76 FPS for Remnant 2 at ultra settings, 1440p. Not bad at all, if you ask me. Whatever.
That won't fit.
These guys are nasty. No stutters, no jitters or anything like that. Game overall feels pretty smooth. So yeah, okay. I think we'll call it good here. So 74 FPS average for Remnant II. Ultra settings 1440p. Alright, so let's take a look at Far Cry 6 and see how it behaves with this card. 1440p, ultra quality, no upscaling or any kind. Okay. Reset. Let's get on a horse. Let's go. So far so good. And everything looks very promising here. At 109 FPS. Starting off. Yep. I don't think that the RX 7700 XT will have any issues in this game at any settings that you want to play it. Especially at 1440p. But yeah guys, okay, so 112 FPS on Far Cry 6 looks to be the average, so very promising, no issues here. So if you like this kind of games, or this kind of game, or this game here in particular, you have no issues with the RX 7700 XT giving you that extra eye candy that you want at 1440p. Alright fellas, so as you saw there, the RX 7700 XT is a pretty decent graphics card. The newer titles like God of War, Ragnarøk, and Space Marine 2 did bring this card to its knees at 1440p at max settings, but if you're willing to sacrifice on some settings, like lower your graphics settings to say high or medium, you should be able to enjoy the games, no problem. Now, as more titles, newer titles come out, this will have a greater impact on the performance of this little card, because you know things will get more graphically demanding and so forth. That's just the way the industry or where the industry is heading, in the entertainment world, at least for PC gaming, which is a good thing, I think, but as far as like this being a solid 1440p graphics card, I wouldn't go that far to say that. Like I said, if you're willing to sacrifice on graphic settings and lower them a little bit, tweak them out, sure, the card will be just fine. You'll enjoy your game just fine. Your game's just fine. But if you want eye candy, 1440p, this may not be the card that you want. You probably want to look at something a little more powerful, like the 7800 XT by AMD, or the 4070 Super or 4070 Ti. That'll give you a better, a little extra oomph that you want at 1440p at, ultra settings. But like I said in the beginning, if you're okay with lowering your graphics settings, the card is just fine. It'll do just fine at 1080p, 1440p even, at high or medium settings in some demanding titles. But anyway, I like the little card. I would recommend it for a 1080p system, actually, not a 1440p, so you can enjoy that eye candy, in your system, and not have to worry about tweaking out your graphics settings for the titles that you just saw, like Ragnarøk or God of War Ragnarøk and Space Marine, if you're interested in those titles. So just tweak out your graphics settings. But yeah, I'll leave it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, for whatever reason, you know what to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.